Partnered by Times Influence.
As far as the power sector is concerned, because ELECMA 2018 is where the world of electricity meets the future.
Accelerators which are necessary.
So this is the time of the MSMEs.
The future of the electrical industry.
240 million of Indians, that's nearly 25% of our population, is living in the dark. They have no access to electricity even 70 years after our independence. So why is it that we are unable to provide reliable, cost-efficient and constant power to such a large chunk of our population? An attempt to answer these questions is being made here at ELECRAMA 2018.
The world's most progressive power experience is back, an event that witnessed endorsements from global entrepreneurs and Indian stalwarts. ELECRAMA 2018 brought the most coveted electrical experience under one roof.
All businesses, anywhere in the world, all business models, all products, all processes are in a way under serious threat. Everybody has now an opportunity to challenge it, to change it, and to make it in a way that will be more attractive for a consumer or the buyer to get into it. We already seen it in communication technology, the huge change that has come about in a shortest possible time. Now when we talk about new generation change, we now in terms of communication, we think next generation change would be far, far different than the previous generation change. I don't think so much has changed in the sub-transmission distribution sector of electricity for a very long time, for decades. And therefore, and not just in India, anywhere in the world. And therefore now, the next frontier of change would be energy sector. In that electricity sector, it is a sub-transmission distribution sector. Even if we change, even in the furthest part of a smallest country somewhere in the world, the change then affects the rest of the world in a shortest possible time. India has 20,000 startups now in India. And now to make them more successful, we are thinking of making a virtual marketplace wherein all these startups products can then be sold through this virtual marketplace anywhere in the world. The startups are the ones which are really going to be the next growth engine in a way, because they will bring about a different kind of change. So I really thank you once again and congratulations to all the winners.
Power sector is passing through, it is very, very difficult time when power is there but demand is not there. In generation, I would say that we are at par with international standards. Our plants are of international standard. Capacity is adequate. In transmission system also, inter-regional transmission capacities has been set up, and almost all over the country not a single megawatt power is bottled up in any part of the country today. But the one who collects revenue for all, distribution sector, is the root cause of all the problems. Apart from this, strengthening of electricity infrastructure in rural as well as urban areas, a very well thought scheme of UDAY for financial turnaround of state power utilities and to ensure reliable, quality and affordable power to the consumers, along with improvement in the operational efficiency parameters of distribution companies. This UDAY document is a very well documented, comprehensive document which talks about, apart from financial turnaround, talks about how to improve the operational efficiency of state power utilities, how to reduce AT&C losses, how to bring down gap between ACS and ARR to zero. So all these measures, and first time it also talks about the quality of coal, rationalization of coal linkages, and how to ensure that there is no grade slippage in the quality of coal. Thank you very much.
In last 25 years of my experience in the capital market, let me tell you very frankly, I have seen more companies dying off because of debt than because of equity. And last 6 years back, being the stock exchange, being the organization who has created equity culture in this country, we have got an opportunity to create a small and medium exchange in the country. And we became the first organization on 13th March 2012 to start this SME exchange. Now we have started this SME exchange, whereby diluting your equity, you can raise funds, again, which doesn't carry any interest rate, and you don't have the burden of servicing it on monthly basis. So the equity, you can raise funds for expansion, acquisition, working capital, reduction of loan, for all these purposes. I think no other instrument can give you these many benefits than equities. And if you see in last 30 years, 35 years, I think no other instrument has beaten the equity in the country or anywhere in the world. Thanks a lot.
Indian companies had about 1.8 trillion rupees of cash stuck in their balance sheets, and this was as of end of 2017, and the cash cycle has been continuously deteriorating over the past few years. It is also true, and it is a study which has shown, that the Indian companies continue to have a much longer cycle compared to their global peers across the world. This, coupled with higher interest rates than the rest of the world, or at least the countries we are competing with, means that we have to work a lot more harder, and we are putting a lot of our money at risk. This also means that our industry is stretched and facing issues of lower margins, and therefore unable to spend money on capex as well as on R&D and technology development. While we fully support the thought process and the policies of the government, we feel that the government needs to adopt far more friendlier and supportive policies to the industry, both in terms of local manufacturing and exports. Partner with the government positively and proactively, and make a strong connect between technology, sustainable demand, and government policies. We need to make a very strong engagement with the government and policymakers so that we can work towards the common good of the industry and fulfill the mission as well as the vision of all the Indians to see India as a $1 trillion economy very quickly. Thank you very much.
In terms of business, there's a lot of challenge for technology, there's a lot of challenge for finance, there's a lot of challenge for policies. But we Indian businessmen are quite capable to survive in all conditions. We, as an Indian company, should very much focus on exports. There is a tremendous opportunity in export business. Most of we are people feeling happy when we do business with Africa. Friends, the real success of export when we do business with the developed world. Developed world is looking towards India, but we need to be very sincere, very honest towards our own product, our company and our country. In business, those who are planned for a shortcut, they have not only spoiled their own company, but they spoil the entire fatality of electric industries and our country. I request all the members, let's focus on quality. Move out from the price war. Go for the quality war. Ultimately, the winner will be those who will provide the quality. So, Elecrama has created a big name, big challenge. As a IMA, whenever you get more success, we must accept that our responsibility is increasing. The way people want to become an IMA member, the way people want to participate in Elecrama, we open up so many pavilions like Railway Pavilion, E-Technic, many new things, Power Pavilion. This time we have tried almost everything, whatever possible electrical we are trying to showcase here. Let's grow with electrical safety as a mission. Let's grow together as a to be an electrical export hub of India. Thank you very much.
When we come back, we'll find out which startups made the cut here at Elecrama Startup Awards. One of the big problems that faces India's power sector is that of stressed assets. 34 coal power plants owe a cumulative debt of nearly rupees 2 trillion. How did they get into this mess, and what is the way out?
The power sector ecosystem is very different than other sectors. Power sector, all externalities, all backward and the forward linkages are controlled by state government or central government. Starting with the fuel, its transportation, the power generator as such is only there in between as a square peg in a round hole, who converts that energy to power and supplies. Therefore, today you find huge mismatch between demand and supply.
This is one sector where government intervention is there at every level. Government intervention right from coal allocation, FSA, PPA. I remember when I was in IDB in the 90s. Actually, 90s we started funding power projects. Initially it was 30-70 debt equity ratio, which came even to 80-20, which means you 20% promoters contribution, you set up a power plant. In fact, power sector is one sector where NPS have not been identified yet. I can confidently say the Reserve Bank's AQR, asset quality review, almost all the NPS have been identified and banks have provided for it. Majority provision has been made. But power sector, because of its importance in the economy, because of the government's intervention, these have not been categorized at NPAs or stressed assets yet, most of them, because of regulatory forbearances were there for most of these units. Because of deemed date of commercial production got postponed, the construction or land allocation could not be got in time, or for the matter, coal allocation or coal cancellation of blocks happened like that. I mean, there are n number of reasons. You take any reason for an non-performing assets, that's applicable for a power sector, everything.
We have been very fortunate with a lot of cases that we have been dealing with in terms of finding a resolution. And here we need to distinguish, the resolution is not concerned with the causes. The causes for distress may be manifold. It may be poor policy wherein you're trying to liberate or change the generation sector in advance of transmission and distribution, which I think was the root cause. It may be availability of too much capital, and really there was at a point too much capital available, or so many other reasons. But when we are looking for resolution, given the asset as it is, we need to see how you can make it sustainable. And here you are blessed with the opportunity to rewrite the whole story.
As far as the Reserve Bank of India guideline, to my mind, it's one of the best circulars ever as far as the resolution part is concerned. The resolutions will take place now because as many of you know, Reserve Bank of India during the last 3 years brought number of schemes, whether it is S4A or SDR, so many restructuring schemes which have really not worked. But here in this circular, it's a very generic, simple restructuring has been put in place. No guidelines as far as who is eligible, what is the eligibility, how it should be done, nothing is there.
There is a case for electrical industry here to have a big hop in terms of the fact that there is a parliament which sets up a report, says that the solution should be done by way of changing in the lending norms by the bank. They were told that banks should develop a skill set to give the funding to power sector, which is very, very heartening, which is the fact that banks probably didn't know how to lend. So this is one. And secondly, through the insolvency code or through many other regulations, you have a great opportunity to acquire the companies which are not doing well, as well as exit out of the operations which you are not doing well. So I think both these things give a very, very good opportunity for the entire industry to grow.
As a part of India's biggest confluence of electrical and power industry, Elecrama, in association with EMA, hosted the Startup Awards to recognize unparalleled innovation and efforts towards making India a global hub for electronics manufacturing.
Success can be defined in what? 4 things. The first thing would be get out of your comfort zone. The second thing I believe in is, you have to have a perspective that's different from everybody. Most people see a problem and get scared. And Gabbar Singh keh ke gaya, jo dar gaya wo mar gaya. So you can't get scared when you see a problem. You need to see in that problem where's the solution, and in that solution where's the opportunity. The third thing is disruption. I mean, we're standing at an energy efficiency podium, so I must speak about this. I own a company here in Delhi called ICL. And it's a great story of disruption. So International Coil Limited was established 52 years ago. Third generation company. What were they doing? They were making coils for cooling and, cold storages and large HVAC plants and stuff like that. And there was a limited market to that. They were trying to get better and better and better at that game, but there was a barrier that they couldn't cross. And this is where disruption comes in. They looked at the energy market, but from a different perspective. Today, my drive is to reach the bottom of the pyramid, to use energy efficiency, to use technology, and create entrepreneurs. Mentor SMEs, MSMEs, give them a platform, collaborate with people, bring them into an infrastructure. This is the time of the MSMEs. I think this is the time where you'll see exponential growth. You don't need one major giant company. You need hundreds of them to contribute a little, and that's a more balanced economy. So my personal mission and target is to impact in the next 5 years 100,000 such entrepreneurs, SMEs and MSMEs. So having said that, with your blessings, Jai Hind.
For the Indian power sector, which is trying to pole vault into the future, innovation is the key to its growth. And some of that innovation is coming from startups. And some of the startups were honored here.
We are filling the gap between the government and all the projects, solar projects are coming, so that all the quantity and how they are generating and how they are performing, we can account for that.
We never even expected to be receiving the awards. Forget receiving the awards, we never even expected to be nominated. We are happy to be here. We hope we make a difference in the lives of everybody.
First, of course, it's a great honor to be given this award. I have an association with Elecrama which goes back about 20 years now. Very soon we hope to be able to have fully made in India products, fully electric, partially electric, running on the streets of India.
IoT is the backbone that we are riding on right now, and data is the mine that we are trying to, it is the treasure that we are trying to mine. So the personalization of the healthcare is actually derived from the whole set of data that we are collecting. And it is, without this, we cannot run this whole mobile healthcare that we are driving right now.
We just got into, and we are the part of India's startup initiative. So we got officially, not nominated per se, we got officially recognized. And the government is doing so much. I mean, I'm really surprised that the government office is actually replying to my email on a one-to-one, and I'm having an email conversation, and that's how proactive this government is. And they have been having all these policies that we set up, that they give us tax benefits for us to come up, and you know, there are policies that they're going to make so that startups can actually put their solution in the projects that government sector is going to undertake. It's going to be a huge platform for us because we don't really have to run after markets. The government is actually creating markets for us.
Partnered by Times Influence.